Now, where we last left off, you were at gunpoint. You had been stopped. Your ship isn't functioning. It won't take off. The engines won't start. And in the back of the party, Aryn has stopped in her tracks because there is a gun pressed to the side of her head, being held by a specter. This is Zelase.
Mm-hmm. Aryn knows him.
Yeah. Apparently, he's the specter who killed this universe's.
Salem.
She has so many names. Yeah, I almost said Rabbit,
I'm,
but
I'm counting like this universe's Salem as Salem, and the one from the other universe Rabbit, to distinguish
that
them.
makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, he says, "No one has to get hurt. I'm here to collect the Reapertech for the council."
I understand. But if you were going to come in shooting, you would have done so already. Can we sit down somewhere and talk?
I don't know how much you think talking's going to do here.
It might do more than you think.
Alright. But we're talking in a public place.
Very well.
Your biotic amp on the floor. Your crew can collect it.
She kind of just like glances over her shoulder out of the corner of her eye, and she's like, "You know I don't need it, right?"
It might give me a little bit of an edge if things don't go cordially. Biotic amp on the floor.
Very well. Aryn will just reach up and just eject it from its port, and she'll gently set it down on the ground so as not to damage it on dropping it.
He'll come up close behind Aryn, the gun still to her head, and talk to the party now, who by now have certainly noticed something is awry. And he'll just say to them, "Pick up the amp. Once we've stepped away, go back to your ship and wait."
Aryn will say, "It's all right. Everyone, keep your weapons down. He's a friend."
I will say, because it doesn't really have any signs or anything like that, I am blood trackering him.
Sure, you can do that. It doesn't indicate anything, right? Like, there's no way for him to know you did that.
No, unless I hit him, no.
Yeah, so yeah, you can just do that. It's fine. If I get the impression that we've been followed, it's not going to go well for your Spectre, alright?
We won't be.
He was talking to the party, but yeah.
I know, but I'm just reassuring him, and I was kind of also talking to the party at the same time.
He will lower the gun so that it's trained to Aryn's like lower spine. It's like pressed into the arch of your back, and he's got like a cloak on that he'll whip around it so that you can walk through a public space without it being obvious to people that he has a gun to you. And he's going to lead you away from the docks back toward like the public area of the Ark.
Zelase is all
Lucille
of this...
step up and Lucille step up and grab the amp.
And Aryn will just say as we're walking, "Zelase, is all of this necessary? You evaluated me. You know how I operate. I prefer to talk things out."
I have evaluated you. That's why this is necessary.
I mean, he evaluated her for Spectre status.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also know what you're capable of, Talia. And he'll lead you into a public area and then motion for you to sit at a table.
She'll sit down. She's being very calm and cordial here.
He sits across from you with the gun, like, under the table, aimed at you. It's been a while.
It has. It does me good to see you again.
I wish I could say the same. It's been long enough that I'm not sure I know you so well anymore. I've heard some things about what you've been up to. They've let me in on some classified information that might be pertinent were you to fully go rogue. After all, you disobeyed a direct order from the council.
Yes, I did. It was because I deemed it necessary for the completion of the mission that they've tasked me with.
That's the thing. There was one character trait that almost held you back during your evaluation. I decided to move forward with you as a Spectre despite this, but you should know it remains in your profile. You have a very ends justify the means mentality.
Isn't that why specters are a thing in the first place? We do the things that the Council cannot condone for the betterment of the galaxy and its protection.
And you're quick and well-spoken to defend this trait, but understand that not everyone thinks the way you do. Consequences do actually matter sometimes.
Zelase, the threat that we face is significant. It's not something that can be dealt with in a way that is comfortable and happy and within the bounds of the red tape. Things are going to have to change, rules are going to have to bend, or there won't be a galaxy left to defend. The tech you've been sent here to confiscate is no longer on the ship. It is not part of the operation anymore until we found a way to stabilize it. I've taken the Council's caution to heart, and it is not on the ship anymore. It is in a safe place, and it will remain until I can be absolutely sure that it will not endanger the galaxy further.
It's not good enough. They're not going to be happy with that. And I'm aware of the threat you're talking about. It's another Krala, right?
Yes.
It's hard to believe. There have been, I think, 2 or 3 ever in our people's recorded history. And now we get 2, one right after the other. A couple years apart. I killed the other one. I'm going to assume you already knew that.
Yes. Which brought up so many questions, because the Council assured me the person that we were after was already dead, and I trusted them when they said it was you that did it. I know that you're reliable. But we've come across answers that shed light on this that I have not had a chance to share with the Council. I was going to wait till we were back on speaking terms. She is the same person, but she's from a different reality, which I know is hard to believe. We discovered the Tsukiyomi relay is more than a mass relay. It's a transit portal between realities. We don't know how many there are, but we know that there are things in other galaxies that worked out much different than they did in this one. And she comes from one of those galaxies. One where she was not in as good a position to take power. But here, we have handicapped ourselves. We have progressed very slowly when it comes to technology. We've banned technological advances at the highest level. And this is prime picking for her to seize control, because technology is the one thing that can oppose her.
Zelase looks at you like you just told him that you are a cow made of bubble gum.
Mhm.
Like he's just, his mouth is agape. He looks baffled, and he says, "That is a hell of a story." The Krala is from another universe, dimension. What
Something like that. I do have proof as well. I have
You.
another being from one of these other realities, not the one that Rabbit came from, but one where
Whoa.
they
Slow down,
embraced.
slow down. You're actually doubling down on this. This is not a joke.
I am not joking. In one such galaxy, they actually embraced technology. The Geth became their allies. In the end, they were able to merge synthetic and organic life, and the Reapers became allies as well. The Reapers helped them rebuild the galaxy from the war, and this was the absolute worst galaxy that Rabbit could have ever gone to, because she can control nothing there. I do have somebody that came through the portal trying to chase her and stop her from escaping their galaxy so she could not threaten another, and he became trapped on this side, and he's on my ship now. But the Council cannot know about him because they will immediately want to study him, and that's not something that we have time for right now. He's vital to the mission as well.
He kind of just puts his hands together and rests his chin on his hands. His gun is now sitting in his lap, and he's just like staring into the middle distance. What the fuck, Talia?
I know, it's all more
Either
complicated than we ever thought it would be.
either you've gotten very good at lying, or everything that every scientist of every race in this galaxy thought about reality was fucking wrong.
It's different than we know science to be.
It takes him a moment to process it, but you can almost like see in his face hit the transition from what the actual fuck is going on to, okay, let's deal with this. Like he goes from being like completely, absolutely confused and baffled to action mode, like soldier, like, okay, whatever, fine, fuck it, this is what it is, let's deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like gathers himself, and he goes, I can't act on something this insane without proof.
Then come aboard my ship. I will show you the proof.
No. He puts his arm on the table, his hand out. Show me.
And she'll take her glove off, and she'll say, by the way, if you pry for information about what the Reapertech Council wanted, was, and where it is, retrieving it is only going to cause a diplomatic incident on the highest level.
I am sure that you've already created all kinds of diplomatic incidents, or at least time bombs. I won't act unwisely.
She'll reach out and take his hand.
Of all the specters to be on this, it had to be you. No offense, but jeez, Talia, what have you been doing?
Well, of all the specters to come after me, I'm glad it was you.
I requested this. And he'll meld with you. Suddenly, Aryn, you find yourself, gun in hand, storming into a city apartment in the middle of nowhere, some backwater planet. And you see a Salem who's younger, a Salem who's still on her journey, still growing, still learning about things. She's in the apartment with someone, and as you storm in, she throws her hands up, and she says, "I wasn't doing anything." And the person next to her is also a human girl. It is just confused and says, "What's going on?" And then in Zalase's voice, you just say, "I'm sorry," and then shoot her in between the eyes. But the bullet crumples, and then you're thrown to the wall, and then everything becomes a blur of pain and bullets and fighting. And partway through, you find yourself being held, and Salem is saying, "I haven't done anything. I can't not be what I am. Leave me alone." And then there's more fighting and chaos, and it goes out into the streets, and eventually you put a bullet through the back of her leg and she falls, and then a moment later you have her pinned to the ground, and your hand trembling, you put 2 bullets in her head and then another in the back of her neck for good measure. And then you feel nauseous. You feel a deep sickness, like this was not the right thing to do. Like you hated having to do this. The greater good, maybe. You feel like doubt swirling in your mind. You just killed someone just for what they were. Not for a crime they committed, not for anything they actually did, just because she was a Krala, because of what she could have done, what she could have become, potentially. And then drinking, sleepless nights, nightmares, and then you come out of the meld. And Zelase, on the other side of the table, is just leaned all the way back, staring at the ceiling. "Holy shit, it's real," he says. And she's actually... what she could have been is here. That means what I did was fucking pointless.
We don't know what the one that you took out would have become. She might have grown up very differently than the one we face now. But the one we face now, we know has done things worthy of what you did to the other one. And this one must be dealt with.
This interdimensional relay in the Yomi Nebula, I feel like we have to take it, but there's no way she's just going to let that happen. If we fly a fleet out there, what you've seen her do, the biotic projections she's able to create, the thick, solid biotic field that extends to the edges of a solar system, a fleet of ships would just get destroyed. They'd be crushed before they even saw her.
It would only be a minor distraction for her, you're right. And she has another very powerful biotic guarding the interior of that station.
Yeah.
And we think if things start going wrong for her here, she'll use it as her way out to another galaxy that might even be less able to combat her.
It's her fucking backup plan.
She has to be stopped here.
This is... The Council is not going to be happy about this. I may have been a Spectre a lot longer than you, but even coming from me, I go back there, I tell them, "Hey, here's what's going on. No Reapertech for you. Get over it." They're not going to take that. And they're not going to believe any of this shit.
You see my predicament.
What the hell do I even tell them?
I don't know. And I'm sorry for putting you in this position.
They want the Reapertech for the vault. They're not going to be happy with me telling them it was destroyed or put away somewhere. No, they want it. They're collecting it. This is classified, and it's not been shared with you, and I am not telling you this right now. You hear me, Talia? You're not hearing this from me right now.
Aryn's gonna turn on her Omni tool and bring up a privacy screen around us.
Yeah, he sees you do that and nods. They have a vault of Reapers. They're collecting them.
What for?
Ostensibly, the reasoning is to keep it away from scavengers, pirates, people who would use the Reaper corpses for nefarious means. That's outwardly the reason.
We
It's
have
not
run
that
into
easy.
that on our own.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that easy to destroy these Reaper bodies, and there's a ton of them. There were a lot of them during the Reaper War, and the Catalyst may have shut them all off, but they're just floating around in space. They're all over the place. So the Council started an initiative to have all of them collected, rounded up, and put inside a vault. That vault it's orbiting one of the planets in Citadel Prime's system. It's orbiting Jupiter, gas giant. The vault is big enough to be a moon. You kind of can't miss it, but no one goes around that system. None of those planets are inhabited, except Mars. Anyway, the point is they want you to give them the Reapertech you have. They're not going to be satisfied if I just tell them that it was disposed of or something. They want to take it and put it in the vault. And between you and me, although ostensibly the reason is to keep it away from scavengers, I'm not completely confident that's the only reason. The Council has messed with this stuff before. Now, you probably haven't been told this either, but right after the Reaper War ended, they actually started a multi-racial collaborative project to try to create AI to protect the galaxy from the next threat. But the project was shut down, and a lot of the members of that project were sworn to silence or killed.
Then I can share with you that one.
Does Aryn poker face that you already knew that? Because you're not supposed to know
No,
that.
well, I mean, she's actually gonna share. Yeah. Like, we've actually learned about that, and in fact, the Reapertech that we've been in possession of is actually something of a remnant of that project, combined with modern efforts.
Fuck, that's really not good.
But we know how to stabilize it. It is a combination of Reaper code and an ultra-pacifist code that keeps it in check. But it cannot be fully unleashed until we find something called the Catalyst. That was what tipped the Council off to what we had, and that was my fault for spilling that. Because I know we are supposed to operate without the Council knowing our exact means. Because they don't care about the means as much.
Wasn't the Catalyst part of the Crucible? That's all I know about it.
We never really knew what the Catalyst was. We assumed that the Catalyst was the Citadel. But when they were connected, nothing happened. And then Shepard went on board and did something in there that we don't know the nature of. And that's what activated it. If it was as simple as the Catalyst being the Citadel, then maybe that would have been more apparent, but this AI is specifically asking for the Catalyst. It's being held right now on Sirkesh because that's where they developed it. And if the Council were to learn the Solarians would involve, that would only spark a diplomatic incident. Until we have the catalyst, we know what it is, and we can stabilize our AI, it's going to remain with them because they can keep it protected.
Talia, when we melded, I saw some of the things you've done. I get that you're doing what you think is right, but be careful. That mentality I was talking about has really come out in a few places. There
know.
may be consequences.
And I know that our galaxy does not have the best history with technology, but only because of the way we've treated it. It's been proven that in other galaxies, things that could have been done differently, that would have had much better outcomes. Which tells me that it is not inherently evil for AI to exist. It can be done right, and it needs to be done right if this galaxy is going to survive this threat.
Alright. Enough. What do we do, then? I have to tell the council something. I can't just go dark. Let's go back to your... Let's head back to your ship before your crew thinks I killed you.
Yeah, Aryn
I
will...
also need to make sure my crew doesn't do anything stupid.
Of course. Once we're out of the privacy screen, Aryn will open up her Omni tool and send a message to the crew saying, "All good, returning now."
Roger that. See? Told you. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yes, because nothing has ever gone wrong when we have been separated. Right, Ray?
Oh, we've taken a few extra grenades and rockets and...
Anytime I leave you guys alone, you seem to get yourselves killed, or at least try to.
Hey, man. Knock on wood.
Yes.
Do you have any wood on this planet?
Probably not.
We're not on a planet right now.
I mean, we have trees.
Considering the chick at the candy shop that made the mistake of calling the Spectre the wrong name, you guys really don't have a good track record of splitting up from us.
Don't worry, David. You could always knock on glass. Save your ass.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lucille. My track record is flawless. I've only nearly died once. Twice. Okay, 3 times.
He's just staring at David.
Staring and traumatized medic.
But it helped you guys. You guys are fine.
Eventually you guys see Zelase and Aryn returning, and they seem to be on better terms. As Zelase comes back into the dock, he actually looks way across the space dock, like all the way to the other end, like 600 feet away, and he puts his hand up and does like a certain kind of hand sign. And you guys see a figure perched over there, like putting a sniper rifle away. It's a Turian who looks like this.
Ah! It's the guy.
I take it that's one of your side characters.
Yeah, one of their characters who joins Zelase's crew. Yeah.
Nice.
He was over there with a sniper trained on the party. Yeah. So Zelase will then turn to the party and well, he'll just let Aryn talk. He'll just be walking like a little bit behind Aryn.
Lucille's been leaning against the airlock. There we go, and just holds out the amp to Aryn.
Yeah, Aryn will take it back and put it back in the port on her head. We've come to an understanding. We just need to figure out the next steps.
Good to hear.
Council's not off our back just yet, but fortunately they sent a sympathetic soul.
Zelase will put a finger to his ear and turn his head to the side and say, "Stellik, you can release the ship." And the Saratoga will regain power again. May I come aboard? Says Zelase.
Something about how that's no fun.
Of course, you're welcome. Everybody,
He will come aboard.
everyone,
Yeah.
this is Zelase. He's the Spectre that, well, gave me final certification.
Nice to meet
Oh,
you. I've been
pleasure.
at this a
Or-
long time. I'm also the one who happened to take out our universe's Crawler, for what it's worth.
Ray
Ah,
is bouncing up and down on her heels. Do you mind if I just do a quick anatomy scan?
He immediately, like, once he realizes what she's on about, he immediately looks very, like, exhausted by it. Yeah, okay, sure.
Ray, a little
Boy,
personal.
I bet this has been an awkward conversation for a while. Hey.
And- And as Ray's doing whatever she wants to do, he'll just say, like, I'm called the Von Rosava.
Yeah, I remembered reading about you in one of my classes.
Uh-huh.
Not you specifically, probably, maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if we ever come across one, it'd be good to know how to heal them and everything. So, and she'll just basically run her Omni tool up and down them a couple of times to get a scan and then back off.
You'll find the anatomy is basically this, like, it's very close. It's basically the same. It's just that Asari, like, they look different to different races. Like, Asari will literally look like a version of them that is attractive to your species. And Von Rasava are just like one little hiccup in the genome, one little, like, glitch of the DNA that they present as more masculine than feminine. But he still, like, would look attractive to whatever species is looking at him. It's just male presenting.
Humans may have the greatest genetic diversity in the galaxy. Asari have the greatest genetic outliers.
Speaking of which, he says as he gets on the Saratoga, we should talk about how to deal with one of those. The Krala. What are you calling her?
Rabbit. That was her syndicate name.
Works for me. I don't especially like the S name. It brings back nightmares for
Understood. That's our way of distinguishing the one from this galaxy from the one that's still a threat.
me. Alright.
Well,
He'll make his way to the conference room. As he's going through your ship, he'll look around and say, huh. Quaint.
she gets the job done. It's mainly designed for traversing the long spaces between mass relays without the benefit of them operating. It's helped us get back from the Yomi relay entirely twice now.
Everyone's a critic.
Which no other modern ship of the line could do.
Seems well suited to your mission, then, he says as he sits down at the table. And as he sits at the table in the conference room, he looks over, and Ristern, who just kind of took over the conference room to do video editing, is, like, sitting across from him with 7 laptops open around her. And he, like, looks at Aryn and goes, who's this?
A friend.
Ristern looks up. Oh, do you need the conference room? Sorry, there aren't that many tables on this ship, so I just kind of help myself.
We'll only be in your. We'll only need you out for a moment. We won't mess with anything you're working on.
Sure enough. And Ristern will collect all of her computers and walk out with them, like, piled up in her arms. And then unload them onto the table in the main area, completely taking it over.
Zelase, do you know about the Leviathans?
Yes, actually.
Well, Rabbit learned from them in her galaxy. The first thing she did when she came here was send us to deliver a message to our Leviathans in the guise of Amos, who they consider to be something of a deity of evil. And we
It's
think
ironic, since the Rela name actually comes from a demon of misfortune in our mythology.
Well, we think her objective was to scare the Leviathans away, because they might be the only thing that can actually oppose her directly. So short on our list is to go back to them and see if we can stop them from leaving before they make that decision final, which they may have already. It might be a fruitless endeavor, but they would be a great boon to our cause. The other destination on the short list is heading back to Earth to try to find any evidence of what the catalyst's true nature might be, so that we can get our project stabilized and hopefully get back in good terms with the Council. But
Even if the Leviathans have left, it's possible they've left something behind.
Maybe. That would be nice. Any help that
They've
they can
been
provide.
They've been on Despoina for a very, very long time. I wouldn't expect them to leave anything for you on purpose, but at least as far as my experience goes, a species doesn't live on a planet for thousands of years and leave it completely untouched, unspoiled. Like, I'm sure they have some kind of, I don't know if those things would live in buildings, but they probably have something on that
Some
planet.
kind of infrastructure, yes. And in my experience, a species that lives that long doesn't make split-second decisions, so they might still be there. A month might just be a blink of an eye to them. But we'll see. That is on our destination list. But on to the topic of dealing with the Council. If they are really looking to collect this, then whether it's stabilized by the catalyst or not won't matter to them. And I can't do this mission flying completely under the radar from them.
Yeah, I get it.
I need to convince them that this is the right thing to do, that this threat is not going to be dealt with within the red tape. It's not going to work. Boundaries will need to be bent. Things are going to have to change in the galaxy.
It's going to be difficult. There are motivations inside this council that are not all perfectly altruistic.
It's the nature of politics.
They want this Reapertech for their vault. If they ever learn it's from that project, they'll want it even more. This want is not... I don't think it's fully motivated by a selfless desire to protect the galaxy. There's something else going on, too.
They have to have some motivation for it than just collecting. Might even be a concentration of power. Something for personal use.
Could be.
It just sounds like corruption in a time that we don't need that complication. Things are bad enough as it is.
I won't let politics doom the galaxy. But we're not there yet. You know me. You know I'm not going to just sit down and watch their bickering and personal motives sink this whole ship.
Of course.
But it's too soon for drastic action. You have my word, though, that if the time comes that there is no other recourse, I'll do what I have to.
What if this vault were to be exposed? Maybe not as a council project, but if the council were given an opportunity to maybe pass it off as some syndicate operation that they then are forced to shut down.
Interesting.
It might take their attention off of actually collecting Reaper artifacts, at least long enough for us to settle this whole matter.
That, or they respond to its exposure by coming out and saying, yes, we have a classified vault where we store Reapertech so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. We're going to keep doing that for your safety. That's an easy spin.
True.
I don't know if it'll be that easy of a spin. I mean, apparently all the individual governments don't know.
I guess we weren't clear. Are my senior staff allowed in here, or is it just me and Zelase?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, the senior staff can
Okay,
be
cool. So the party is there. Everybody else can offer suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I
Party can be present.
didn't want to exclude everybody. All right. We just need a way for the council to be off our backs long enough for us to get Adam back. And for them to be okay with us operating with him.
The easiest thing would be to actually give them Reapertech. But not the one that you're actually protecting.
Give them a stand-in.
That's the simplest solution for the time being, to smooth things over.
The other way would be to say that it was lost in the course of the mission, maybe at the Tsukiyomi Nebula. So
That's a hard sell.
It would be a deception, but it would not be out of the question for something that we'd actually do.
That's a very hard sell after you defied them. That's going to come across as evasive. They're going to assume you hid it somewhere.
When I defied them, I did assure them that it was critical to the mission, so it would have to be something significant enough to be passable.
I don't suppose you happen to know where there's a Reaper corpse just floating around that hasn't been collected yet?
No, but we do have the location of a debris field with a lot of Reapertech integrated into it.
Well, we do know where there is a Reaper corpse that is floating around and has been collected.
Where was that? I've forgotten.
Dragon.
Not dragon.
Rat.
Yeah,
No?
no.
Rat,
Yeah.
my bad.
Rat.
Hmm.
Rat's ship is a Reaper corpse that his underboss,
Yeah.
Mouse, was able to breathe life into.
Right.
Well, not life, but like got it flying
Mhm.
around.
That would be significant. I don't know if we could convince Rat to part with it.
I feel like I might be able to convince him. Zelase, like, loads his pistol and places it on the table.
He is an ally.
He's syndicate.
So is that Asari in the cargo bay.
Yeah, I noticed her.
Different members of the Syndicate have taken sides. We do have two of the Syndicate bosses on our side. Even if for personal reasons, they still stand against this threat. They stand against Rabbit.
Why don't you contact this friend of yours and see if he can give you something? If he's flying around a Reaper corpse, it's possible he might have a stand-in for you, right?
That's a very good idea, actually. I can't ask him to give up his ship, but he probably has something significant enough to present to the council to assuage them.
If he's really your ally, then it's in his best interest to get you out of this.
Mm-hmm. We'll put that on the short list.
Alright. I'll stick around until you have it. so I can take it back to the council and explain the situation in a way that will get them off your back.
I appreciate that. I promise we won't take long. We've had some missions hanging over our head for quite a while, but we'll make this one a priority. Ray, would you pass my apologies to Decimius? We're going to have to delay the Batarian Warlord a little bit longer.
In all honesty, I don't know how much he actually cares.
I'll also need to apologize to Prim. We've been putting off her mission for a while, too.
They're all patient. They're NPCs.
Primrose
you can do the side quest
Primrose
whenever.
was kind of oozing impatience recently.
She was.
To be
She
fair.
was.
To be fair, their quest is kind of a big ask. They're gonna have to wait regardless.
Yeah, but I mean, we
Yeah.
can at least make some progress on it. Like
We have made some progress on it.
what? How many syndicate bosses have we taken down?
We have 2 of them on our side.
Okay, well, I mean,
And for what it's worth, Primrose specifically wants revenge on Dragon, the one who killed
yeah.
her squid. I
If
don't
we
know.
can kill Dragon without destroying his fleet, that would be excellent.
Anna.
His jellyfish.
I am going to correct Primrose's, because you didn't know who it was for a while, but you did learn it's Dragon, so I've updated Primrose's to say specifically Dragon
Yeah.
is the one that she wants. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good, because that's who I want to kick the ass of, so let's go.
Awesome!
Alright.
We
I'm
still-
on board with that.
We still have a little bit of unfinished business here. Some of it
Take your time.
you might not like.
It's fine. It's par for the course with you, Talia, to be honest.
The Council empowers Spectres to do what they determine to be necessary for the protection of the galaxy. We shield them from liability by not telling them what those exact methods are. That's where I messed up with the Reapertech. But I know I can trust you with everything that we're doing, because you share that same burden.
I just hope when this is all over and you've saved the galaxy from this Krala, that you haven't created a threat worse than her.
I hope so as well, but I'm not under any illusions that the galaxy is going to be remotely the same when it's all over. Things are going to change out of necessity.
Ray has a nerdier smile looking at him.
he stands up and he makes his way out. I'll stay on the Saratoga for now, if that's acceptable.
And she'll nod.
And as on his way out, he's gonna radio his crew and basically say, "You're tailing the Saratoga for a while," and then he'll head down the hall.
Alright, well, before we can leave here, we'll need to pick up the Pilgrim, but before that, we'll need to make sure that the things we've set in motion with the government here are going to pan out. We'll need to let Ristern get back to work on that.
Ristern calls down the hall. "Almost done! It'll be live tonight!"
Arturo,
After proper review.
Arturo, have you made sure the footage is all good to go?
He'll nod. He's like, I've been keeping track of her, making sure she's not doing anything untoward.
Alright.
Hey Dan, do I need to do anything to see how successful I was on that?
No. It's
Okay.
fine. Well...
Ray needs to go over it at least once.
Give me an investigation check, actually.
That's a 24.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
So,
I
yeah,
only
Arturo-
really had you roll in case it was very low, because then I could have done something funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's all good.
Oh, Aryn, we'll have one more thing to tell Zelase.
Okay. I mean, he's down the hall, but you can go catch him.
Gotcha. She'll say one more thing. While we've been here, we have come under attack from a Quarian Spectre, Talizora.
He'll stop and look at you.
Not on any mission from the Council, but a personal vendetta.
It's a wonder you're alive.
I agree.
You don't have to tell me why she's after you. I saw what you've been up to when we melded. Of course she's after you.
Well, not all of us made it out alive. She did kill one of my crew.
Has anybody told Primrose?
No, I'm gonna do that next. But we do have footage of it if we need if it's prudent to bring a case against her before the Council. Because even if she is tasked with protecting the galaxy that way, she's preventing me from doing my mission. Or was at least interfering with it. She's not on a mission from the Council anymore. She's pursuing her own agenda. And that's as close to going rogue as it gets.
She's protecting the galaxy in her own way. In a way that honestly aligns pretty closely with the Council's vision. Spectres are supposed to operate independently on their best judgment. You'll have a hard case if you try to bring this to the Council, because they're going to wonder why she's after you. And all it takes is for her to tell them what you're up to, and they'll be on her side.
Well, before all this is over, the galaxy's mind is going to have to be changed about a lot of significant things.
Look, you need to be careful around that one, okay? Talizora is a war hero.
I know.
And she's a zealot. I had the pleasure of meeting her before the Reaper War. She wasn't quite as fanatical back then, but she's always been very anti-Geth, anti-synthetic. There may have been some turning point where Shepard could have changed her mind. She seemed to look up to them, but that clearly didn't happen. So her fanaticism has only grown exponentially after Shepard's passing.
It didn't have to be that way.
But that's how it went.
In another galaxy, she was actually an advocate for AI.
It's a little hard to imagine how she got there, considering where she started, but minds change.
Mm-hmm.
This one didn't, though. And he'll walk down the hall and turn the corner.
Yeah, and Aryn's gonna go to where Prim hangs out, or Primrose.
All right. Yep.
And she'll say, "I'm sorry, Primrose. Yuji didn't make it."
I know. Primrose is sitting on the railing, staring at the opposite wall. Will that be all, Spectre? She says very coldly.
I don't like losing people either.
This is not what I need. And she looks at you, like, kind of staring daggers. Will that be all?
That'll be all. We'll be making a strike against the Syndicate soon. I promise.
Good. And she'll look back at the wall.
Yeah, and Aryn will give her space then. She said what she needed to.
Yeah, Primrose is not really the the hugs and talk about your feelings type.
Mm-hmm. Just want to
She's
bring her
like-
the news and assure her that we have not forgotten about her mission.
Yeah, Primrose is like, shit happens. Leave me the fuck alone.
Mhm.
'Cause that's the kind of person that she is. Yeah. All right. Ristern suddenly declares, "Done! Oh, it's a masterpiece. We are innovating political television here. This kind of propaganda is going to put anything anyone's done to shame. They're going to write papers about this."
Good chance they'll write something.
What if she's in video news and she cares about whether or not somebody's going to write a newspaper?
Well, anyway, when she said people write papers about this, she meant like college thesis, like they're going to,
Oh, okay.
it's going to be like analyzed as like the new standard for propaganda.
Wow,
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that you
What
could write on
changed?
the Mass Effect
How
1
things-
elevator rides.
Right.
It's like that's going to be the when things changed article.
Yeah. She gets up and starts to head toward the airlock. "I'm going to get this straight to the Admiral, and we'll get it on the air right away."
Arturo, keep her under guard.
Yes, Spectre. I'll
And-
keep an
and-
eye
and
on her.
Ristern says, "Human, right this way. Don't forget my coffee."
He definitely forgets the coffee, possibly intentionally.
We're all going.
Ray says, "Wait, Arturo, you forgot the coffee."
Shut up.
Yeah, so she'll just take it to Kurozen. And Kurozen is like, "All right, this is it then. I'm going to go make it live. This is good timing. A lot of Quarians are probably finishing their dinner by now."
Good. Ray, be on standby. This is not a transmission that Tally is going to like, and she might try to override it. I'll need you on standby for counter-hacking.
Yes, Captain.
Brace for
So-
impact.
Fingers crossed it all goes well.
Corazon says that would be quite the accomplishment, even for Tally Zora. This is going on the Quarian government frequency. It's going to broadcast on every arc and all over Rannoch.
If anyone can
If she
hack her,
tries-
it'd be her.
If she tries, she's going to be counter-hacked by the entire digital security team. Like every Quarian we have on cybersecurity will be on her. It's a government channel, but hey, better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll take it to the comms room. He hands it to someone and says, "Put this live in 5 minutes. Government broadcast top priority. Every screen in every arc, every ship, all over Rannoch. I want this on every single screen."
Ray's wheezing.
And then he goes and stands with all of you. All right. Here we go. We're going to loop it a few times too.
If it gets
In
the
five-
message across.
In 5 minutes, it goes live. And there's a panning shot of Rannoch with the sun coming up. And as Ray's voice comes in, there are like emotional shots of the Quarian people living their lives together, and like panoramic views of the arcs in orbit, of Rannoch's natural beauty, and occasionally it does return to Ray as well, and it'll show Ray like surrounded by the crowd of Quarians speaking passionately. And as it's being broadcast all over, it's also being shown in the comms room where all of you are standing. Down on Rannoch, it comes up on Vasamal's screen, and he steeples his fingers and watches intently, kind of narrowing his eyes. By the end of the broadcast, Vasamal sits quietly for a few moments, thinking deeply, then motions for an assistant. Get me in contact with the House of Ancestors. Back in the comm station with Korozen, the broadcast finishes and then loops. And Korozen just sits down. No sign of any hacking or interference. We've completed one cycle. We're going to keep cycling the broadcast for most of the night. Make sure everybody sees it. Well, the hard part's over. He looks over at Aryn. Probably won't be till tomorrow that we actually see the fruit of our labor. Gotta give people time to see it and think about it.
That'll give us a chance to rest, recover.
Yeah. Looks like we're all clear, though. If somebody was going to try to do something, they would have tried to stop it first cycle.
The message is out there now, so retaliation is not going to be as effective.
Yep. And Ristern turns to everybody and says, "Wonderful job, one and all. I think it's perfect."
I agree. You did a
can't-
wonderful job, Ristern.
Thank you. Thank you. She'll start to make her way back to the ship. Time for some well-earned rest and relaxation, I say.
For us all.
Indeed.
Arturo, keep the ship on high security.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You all heading back to the ship?
Yep.
All right.
I'm not letting my
Everybody-
guard down until we've completely departed this system.
You return to the Saratoga to rest. All of you reach the Saratoga. Ristern goes to her private quarters to go to bed. What's everybody do?
Aryn is going to head to her quarters to sleep as well.
All right.
It's
What
been
about
a
the rest
long
of you?
day.
Y'all quiet.
Probably take a shift. I really don't want to leave the ship with everybody down. I don't trust this place.
Sounds good. Come get me up in, say, 6 hours.
Roger that, Captain.
So I can
Ray
do
is
a
actually
2-hour
gonna-
watch as well.
Ray's actually going to request leave so she can go spend the night with her uncles in.
Aryn will nod. Say, granted.
I'll probably just take
Aw.
some.
Lucille,
I'll probably just
you have command for the next 6 hours.
Okay.
Roger that, Captain.
What was that, Ronnie?
No, I was just gonna say he was probably just gonna take some pain meds and probably just sit in the cockpit. Might even fall asleep in the cockpit.
Just realized I'm muted. Arturo's on the bridge doing his duty as security officer.
Should everybody make sure you get some rest at some point?
I'm pretty sure all of mine comes back on a short rest. I think there might be 1 or 2 on a long, so.
Well, health or hit dice are the main thing, but yeah, you can get a short rest and be battle ready. I could as well, but I've got my planning dice, contingencies, and hit dice to recover.
Unfortunately, we've already had a short rest. I don't think we can benefit from a second one.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's not things that recover on a short rest once per long rest. You can take several short rests between long rests. Just most things are designed so you can't abuse that to get anything back infinitely.
Yeah.
Long rest is 8 or long rest is 6?
Long rest is 8, 6 of which must be done doing something like sleep, but 2 of that can be done can be used during doing light activity like keeping watch or reading.
Okay.
So you can do like 2 hours of your 6 hours can be like just like light activity, keeping watch, basically being in command. That's why Aryn wants 6 hours, because then she can do a 2-hour keep watch shift.
Okay. As long as nothing explodes.
Yeah, that'll interrupt a rest.
Shepard will take the back half of that for the evening, so she can get a long rest to recoup hit points.
Yeah, so like I'll sleep for 6 hours and then we trade out. You sleep for 6 hours.
Yep.
All right. And then morning comes. And as morning comes, Corazin immediately is waking Ray up. Ray, wake up.
They're not Rachni anymore. What?
And at the same time, Ristern rushes through the Saratoga with a screen out, like, "Everybody, come on, up! You gotta see this!" And so at the same time, in 2 different places, the crew of the Saratoga and Ray with Corazin see a broadcast on the government channel. It's Corazin standing in the House of Ancestors, and you tune in like mid-sentence. And that's why I have decided that I will put my support behind Rela and Corazin in the creation of a new civilian government for Rannoch. A new united people, no longer fleet and planet, but one. Quarians. And then it like cuts to a feed that has Yafuzun, and she says, "The time has come for us old folks to let the next generation take over. I think everyone was just as moved as I was by that speech, and I couldn't agree more that a new age is at hand. We should get out of the way and let it grow." And then the Quarian voice says, "We were unable to reach the 4th Admiral Woni Wirral for comment, but close advisors say that she is not very pleased with the result. It has yet to be seen whether she's willing to veto the decision, but as it stands, it is 3-1 to reform the Quarian government between the 4 admirals. The Quarian people also are showing overwhelming support, and it switches to a crowd of like 10,000 Quarians outside the House of Ancestors. They have gathered in mass to request the new civilian government proposed by Rela, an overwhelming public support that the government could not ignore. The House of Ancestors, which normally takes several weeks to convene, have actually come together in just 8 hours in response to this unprecedented wave of public outcry. And on the Saratoga, Ristern's like, "We did it!" She gets out like champagne and pops it.
Well done, you two.
And Korozen just gives Ray a firm hug. "Everyone heard you," he says.
Ray is like shaking as she's watching the screen.
It goes back to Vasamal, who says, "I have only ever wanted our people to be strong, for us to take the right course. It's clear to me, and all of us, what that path looks like. Rela, I would invite you to join us. We would like to hear your opinion as we begin the long work of taking a step forward for our people, out of the dark and into the light."
Ray will look over at Zen. Is this a trap? This feels like a trap.
"I don't think so," says Korozen. "I think you were genuinely convincing. I think you swayed them all."
Well, almost all. Nobody's heard from Woney.
Yeah, well, Woney can get over it.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to go get the crew of the Saratoga.
Of course.
Nice.
Oh, Joseph, you
Oh,
want to...
Sorry, I accidentally unmuted when I meant to mute.
So Korozen and Ray will arrive at the Saratoga while Ristern is popping champagne and like spraying it on the walls. Ha 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 ha! And it's the star of the show, Ristern says as Ray gets on board. Hi!
Ray will like raise her hand like halfway up her torso and do like an awkward little wave.
Oh, Ray, don't be so bashful. You're a star now.
They've been like this ever since they barged into the ship and woke me up.
On the broadcast, the person says, "There's been a new development. We finally have word that Woney Wirral is now in negotiation with the House of Ancestors and Vasamal to secure for herself a seat in the military of the new civilian government that will be reformed. That is confirmation Woney Wirral will not be vetoing the vote and is instead leveraging the threat of a veto to secure for herself a position in the new government's military." And Korozen says, "Well, there you go then. I guess her career mattered more to her than her principles in the end."
Well, that
was
to our
really
benefit.
what I hoped would happen. So I'm glad it did.
Assuming her plan is to be an actual admiral now, that's probably the best option we could have hoped for.
It's the best place for her in the New Order, I think.
Ray, you did outstanding.
Thanks. Now we just have to hope they don't put together something even worse.
Well, says Corazin, I actually received a lengthy correspondence from Vasamal, written, and it looks like he's drafting a proposal to have some kind of elected executive position that serves as a check and balance to the House of Ancestors, being lawmakers and interpreters. I imagine he probably plans to run for this office, but he'll have to actually win the popular vote, because what it looks like is it will be a democratic position.
Well, it's worked for humans for centuries.
It might be, says Corazin, that Vasamal saw an opportunity in your speech to create a new government that has a sole executive position he thinks he can win. Which, honestly, Vasamal is a good leader. He's a solid politician, and he's well liked by his people, so if he wins it, he wins it. I don't actually have any objections to that, says Corazin. Sounds like a lot of work. I wouldn't want it.
He strikes me as the kind of person that sees where the wind is blowing and goes with it. The kind of person that will see what the people want and actually get behind whatever their position is.
Corazin says, I would agree. Vasamal's not a... he may not be a good man, but he's not a bad guy either. He's ambitious and he's driven. And he's good at what he does.
Well, sometimes that's all you need in a politician.
What about you, Uncle Zen? What are you gonna do?
I think I might be a gardener.
Ray kind of just stares at him for like a solid 10 seconds.
And he goes, what? What? No, I'm serious. What?
I've only seen you walk on the surface for a total of like 2 hours.
I didn't have time. Now I have time. I'm gonna go for some long walks on Rannoch.
May your plants flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. In any case, it seems like they want you to be involved in the discussions, Ray, says Corazin. You don't have to accept. I know you guys are busy, but it's up to you.
Ray will look at Aryn. If you want your support, now would be the time to make sure you get it.
Aryn would nod. If you are going down there, even if it's less likely that it's going to be a trap, we're still going to keep you under guard.
Ray will nod. Do you want to come with us, Uncle Zen?
I think I'm expected to, most likely. Gotta still do my part until I'm finally retired.
Alright. Back down to Rannoch for probably one very long trip before the Saratoga goes back out.
Oh, right. Says Corazin. By the way, out of character, you never told them about taking Saratoga as your name, did you?
No, technically she hasn't actually done it because she would have to talk to her old admiral to get permission, so she actually would have to talk to the guy who now runs Rannoch proper. So technically it's not official. She's still...
So you actually have to talk to Vasamal.
Yep, exactly.
It's literally Vasamal, then, that you have to go through. Yeah.
And also, Aryn never actually told Ray that Zen wants her to stay on the planet after this is all over, so...
Right. That was also not shared with you.
Mm.
Yeah. So Zen is looking a little uncomfortable with that, but he doesn't say anything. Maybe a little passive-aggressive, like, yeah, I guess so.
After all,
You know,
after it's all over, Ray can make her own decisions.
as the Saratoga makes its way down to Rannoch, assuming, I mean, that's clearly what you guys are doing, right?
Yeah.
You're going down. As that's happening, Corazon will say to Ray, kind of in confidence, you know, after that speech, you definitely have a position waiting for you on Rannoch. That the people would rally behind you. Hell, you might even win the popular vote for that position if you wanted it.
I don't know if public speaking is really something I'm any good at. I think I just had the right people and got lucky.
But you're honest. The people like you. Or you could go garden with me. We could set up a nice little place somewhere on Rannoch. Wide open spaces, you know?
That would be nice. It would be nice to feel like I was welcome on the homeworld again.
I imagine you are now. Did you see that crowd?
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I'm just a little scared. I don't do crowds. I don't do people. I don't.
Then, like I said, we could carve out a little space somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you know?
Ray's gonna finally realize that he's trying to get her to like leave the ship, and she's gonna sit there and think about it for a second. I know it's scary what I'm doing. It's scary for me too. I've witnessed some things, seen some decisions, heard some things that have terrified me, but I don't know if anyone else could do it, Uncle.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. But they seem capable enough. Look, Ray, maybe it's selfish, but maybe sacrifices have to be made. Maybe some brave soldiers have to be martyrs to save the galaxy again and again. But it doesn't have to be you.
Oh my god, I'm so mad. That's out of character.
Why are you mad?
Because I'm actually half tempted to retire Ray, but I really don't want to.
Oof.
I'm just role-playing Corazon the way he would feel.
I know.
I'm not trying to push you to do anything. This would be a good retiring point, but that's not like I don't have an objective. This is just what Corazon would say, in my opinion. You know.
No, you're doing a brilliant job. That's why I said I'm mad because I
want
almost
to live. Like,
Yep. By way of the old tradition, that ship has become my family. They've had my back. We've had our fights, but when it comes down to it, they're the ones who took me in. I love you dearly for what you did for me, but after I had to leave you, I felt alone, like nothing. That's why I snuck off world to go and explore, and I never really felt like I'd meant anything until I joined Aryn's crew. And if they died because I wasn't there to fix the ship or to heal one of them, then that would weigh on me for the rest of my life. like I said, our people are known for making mistakes. And I don't want to make one and have good people die because I was afraid.
I understand. All right.
Ray will say, "I love you, Uncle Zen," and she'll hug him.
He'll hug her too. You touch down by the House of Ancestors, a tall, ancient building with beautiful but crumbling stone Quarian architecture, which you imagine in your mind's eye because your DM doesn't have a fucking picture of it. And Vasamal is waiting outside. There's a crowd of thousands of Quarians out here, but the security has created a pathway between them to get to the House of Ancestors. As the Saratoga touches down, Vasamal turns to face it, all the way at the other end of this crowd of people. Horazin takes Ray's hand and says, "With me, it'll be okay."
Ray will walk with him.
Aryn's gonna mutter to the side. David,
Yeah.
can you track Ray?
He'll put a glance towards Ray a moment, and then he'll look back towards her. Done.
Just being abundantly cautious.
If you want, I can follow him.
No.
All right.
We'll let them have their space.
You got it.
Arturo, keep your head on a swivel.
Of course.
We can't forget that Talizora was in Vasamal's service. Forgive me my paranoia.
Nope, nothing to forgive.
I won't forgive it. How
Or-
dare you?
I already lost one crew member on this planet. I don't want to lose another.
As you walk down the line between the two huge crowds of Quarians, it's loud, and the people are all talking. Many of them are trying to get Ray's attention, trying to talk to her. But it's just kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, Ray's just like very awkwardly like waving at people.
Yeah. As you approach the entrance of the House of Ancestors, where's the rest of the party? Because Ray and Corazin are going down this line, like between the two crowds toward the House of Ancestors. The Saratoga is at the other end. Where's everyone like positioned? Just out of curiosity, like, are you guys like accompanying her, or are you like hanging back?
No,
Are we allowed to accompany her?
I don't think we should be accompanying her. This is a time for Quarians right now. The more we are in the picture, the more it would seem like the other species are meddling in Quarian affairs.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
You'll
we're
probably
at
just
a comfortable
keeping a
viewing
lookout.
distance, but not anywhere that would be like in public eye, really.
The David, Lucille, Aryn, and Arturo. I'd like the four of you to give me a perception check.
That doesn't worry me.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Zan's about to retire my character regardless.
No!
Counting on you, Arturo. Wait, why did David roll twice?
Why did David roll twice?
I'm sorry. I muted. I said I'm rolling adaptive on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure.
Actually, yeah. I've got it. I'm rolling it.
Nope, I'm paranoid. I'm keeping little sis Ray
Yeah,
safe.
I'm gonna
Goddamn it.
also use my my adaptive on this.
Well,
Did
We
that help
also-
it?
make your first roll, Arturo, first, and then see if you want to use it. You might crit it the first time.
Okay.
Also,
I mean,
we long rested, right? Doesn't it
We
mean
did.
we got inspiration back?
You do. You have inspiration.
didn't
Okay.
mean to. There we go. My bad. I was stupid. I hit advantage for the second roll.
So did you have advantage or no?
No, I rolled a 19 and then I just tried to roll again, but I accidentally clicked on advantage because
Okay,
I
that
wasn't
was
thinking
adaptive.
straight.
While we're
Yeah.
standing here, Aryn is going to use her holographic disguise just to appear Quarian.
Yeah. All right. Arturo, with that 25, you see the tiny glint, a little tiny glint of light off of something in the air, something in the sky where there's nothing, and realize that that might be something cloaked in the sky. What do you immediately do when you notice that?
Arturo, without even thinking, is going to call over comms, Spectre. We have a situation, and then he's going to pull his rifle out, activate cloak jamming rounds, and take a shot at whatever the hell that is.
All right. As you call it out over comms, and as you're getting your gun out, there's the sound of a shot. Who's on these comms? I know Aryn, Lucille, David, Ray is. It would be like the party.
And our sniper boy.
And
Yeah.
roll, yeah.
Roll, yeah.
Yeah, and roll.
So those are all the people who heard the call out on comms. Is that correct?
Yeah, that'd probably be everyone on close comms.
What is Ray's split second reaction to hearing that on the comms? Like in that moment of time, in that instant, what does Ray do when that call out goes out?
Ray is going to push Zen out of the way.
Oh god.
Yeah, saw that coming.
Okay. You push Zen out of the way, and then there is a shot. And because you moved to push Zen, the shot misses. And it hits the ground behind Ray.
Oh, thank fuck.
Torazen stumbles, and obviously everybody heard the gunfire. Arturo, you can try to take your shot.
Would this be with disadvantage?
It is, yeah, it's very far away.
Okay, so turning off sharpshooter then. That don't hit. That's on that one.
Regardless, the shimmer is gone already. Whatever was there isn't there anymore. The crowd is all ducking, everyone in the crowd is ducked down, kind of half panicking. The Quarian guards are trying to keep people, calm. Vasamal 1 second later arrives where Ray is, because he broke into a sprint when he heard the gunshot. And Vasamal actually interposes himself between Ray and, where the shooter was.
Was it at an angle where Ray can see the bullet hole?
Yeah.
Ray's gonna look down at it, look at Zen, realize that it wasn't aiming at him, it was aiming at her, and then probably start to wooze around a little bit like she's gonna faint.
How far away are the rest of us from them when this is going on?
Several 100 feet.
Okay.
Sprint.
Nothing we can really do
Yeah.
but start to sprint in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vasamal says, "Move! Get into the house now! Go, 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 go!" Like with his hand, like ordering Ray and Zen. Corazon will like grab Ray basically and
Yeah, and
just run into the House of Ancestors.
saying like squad removing, collapse on Ray.
I will
Roger.
activate biotic enhancement to give myself a non-ability to costing ability to do bonus action dashing, and I will be sprinting at her at 90 feet around.
Arturo, see if you can find out where that came from.
I already know where the shot came from. It's gone. It has also left the situation. I have a feeling it was. I have a feeling it was Tally and her ship.
Do you think the situation's stable?
I would never say that,
Understood.
but I believe she may have fled, at least for the moment, to gather her bearings.
Let's get Ray and the admirals to safety then. Looks like they're moving that way.
Once you're all inside the House of Ancestors, Vasamal is already on comms saying, orbital sensors up. There's been an attempt on an admiral's life. Identity is Spectre, Tally Zora. Her ship is the Huntress. It has cloaking tech. I want everyone eyes out the windows. Spot this fucking thing.
Aryn's gonna call to the Saratoga. Saratoga, engine's hot. We need you in the air again. Just providing cover.
You got it, says Quincy. And she pulls the Saratoga up into the air.
And she'll tell Vasamal, I'm bringing my ship into the area just for additional air support.
I don't have control over her, he says.
I understood she was in your direct employ.
We had, at best, an agreement of mutual interest. Tally does what she wants.
So it seems.
All right, he says. I got a visual. Someone in one of the outlying ships was able to see her making her way to the mass relay. We don't have anything fast enough to catch her.
Nor do we.
I haven't spoken to her since last night, but I know for a fact she's not going to be happy about all this. That speech you gave, Vasamal says to Ray, it was moving and inspiring, but you had some choice words about the Geth that I know will not sit well with her. You've made yourself probably target number one.
Very wheezy breathing.
In and out. Keep breathing, Ray. Keep your oxygen level above 90.
She can't get anything out. She's just sitting there having a panic attack.
We're not going to be able to find her, says Vasamal. She has stealth tech from the Reaper War. It's very advanced. Not to mention her ship can cloak.
Ray's made it very clear that she didn't want Tally's name besmirched. She looks up to her. Sees her as a hero to your people.
She is a hero to our people. The problem about heroes, if you've read any mythology, is they're violent psychopaths, all of them. In a time of war, you need a violent psychopath. In peacetime, heroes, more often than not, become villains.
Aryn will look to David and say, what was that human saying? Either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain?
Harvey Dent, Dark Knight.
That's the one. Aaron's
a
very
good
well
thing.
versed in culture.
So Vasamal says, "That's a good saying. This Harvey Dent is one of your wise men, I assume, a philosopher, perhaps."
He's a character
was
from a
a-
comic book.
He was at one point until unfortunately he lived up to that saying and became the villain.
I say, tragic. Human history is interesting.
Isn't it?
I found there are many things to learn from it. Memes aside.
Vasamal's gonna quote Harvey Dent, the human philosopher, when he's talking to his friends.
I've done my job, baby.
The tragic story of Harvey Dent, the human philosopher.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the fact that Arturo was just ignored too, because he straight up said, it's like he's a character from a comic book.
You have not seen The Dark Knight until you see it in Elcor.
Oh god.
I ran over you, Joseph, because the alternative was so much funnier.
Oh no, it's way too funny.
The
Idea that the other human was ignored makes sense anyway.
Fucking Elcor.
I also like the idea that Quarians just have no concept of what a comic book is. So when they said that, we're just like, oh,
Yeah, you
it's
just know what that
script.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic
When
book,
was the
one of
last
your
time
holy
Quarians
texts.
wrote? Oh man.
In any case, it's
Lucille's actually going to go over and sit next to Ray and kind of, gently put a hand on her knee to try and help calm her down.
I am not important enough for people to want me killed.
You are now. You've made yourself a figure.
It's like you're now going to live up to be one of the most important people in Quarian history.
No pressure.
And you'll be
Vasamal
fine.
makes his way over to Ray, and he says, "I would not call myself a virtuous man, but you and I have something very much in common, Rela. I do genuinely want what's best for our people, and clearly so do you."
With all due respect, Admiral, sir, so does she.
That's true. That is the tricky part, isn't it? We are all of us driven by what we believe to be right. Governance, I suppose, is where those driven by their own sense of right come to meet in the middle and establish a way of living together.
We as a people need to help in the galactic community. That's a big priority right now for me.
I understand.
I don't know what questions or what advice you want from me about the government, but there is one promise that I want you and all of the admirals to make. Whatever is established, we will rejoin the task force.
He cracks a smirk. I imagine Ronnie will be happy about that. Yes. As we have done before, the Quarian people will stand beside the Council races in defense of our galaxy.
Well, what else is needed from me, or
There is nothing needed of you, Rela. You are not a politician. You are not trained in these matters. You aren't a leader. You don't know how any of this works. What you are is you are an inspiration. You have become a cultural figure. The speech you gave has transformed you in the eyes of the public. You will soon find that fame is double-edged, and the vision people have of you will no longer be the same as you actually are. you'll likely never live up to it. I invited you here to give your opinion, and I will endeavor to respect it moving forward. But as for the minutiae of governance, I would be willing to teach you, but it would take time, and I suspect you don't have that kind of time.
Ray will look back at Aryn and look back at him and shake her head. No.
Very well.
Aaron's just smiling proudly. She's so proud of Ray.
Whatever shape our government takes, it will join the Galactic Readiness Task Force. There will be a delay. There is much work to be done, but it will happen.
Helping my people and helping the galaxy as a whole was the whole reason for coming here, so I'm glad to hear you say that.
Of course. The Quarian people, after they have reformed a government based on Ray's speech, will dedicate the full breadth of their technology and war assets to the Galactic Readiness Task Force. 600 out of 600.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
Good job,
Well,
Ray.
They're literally
John.
reforming the government because of Ray, so
Mhm.
yeah.
No, that was one hell of a speech you gave, brother. God damn.
I mean, the result was something like 34 after modifiers. Like, yeah, he's convinced
Yeah.
everybody.
Mhm.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
Except
Took me
for,
long enough to write up the
Tally.
damn thing.
Yeah, Tally's not going to get swayed. Well, everybody, let's take a very brief break, only because we are going to go late tonight, and this will give you all time to level up.
Yeah!
Yay! I can
11,
finally
here we
use
are.
break 3 spells and turn
Nice.
invisible permanently.
Level 11. Nice.
Level 11 for me. I can now do the thing I've wanted to do for a while now. Teleport sword strike people. Let's go.
I
It's
Just
know.
out of
gonna be
curiosity,
time.
Zan, how much damage would that shot have done?
Um,
All of it?
it was gonna kill you.
Awesome.
And
Oh,
Oh.
for what it's worth, if there's a very strong possibility that if Corazon had known this was happening, he would have taken the shot and died as well.
It's a good thing he was there then, because Ray's first reaction was I was gonna just have her turn around and look at Arturo and try to figure out what he was talking about, not move at all, because she's not a trained soldier, so she hears "get down," she doesn't think to actually get down.
But
But because Zen was there, she actually did something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also
Thank-
a good indicator of Vasamal's character that his first thing that he did was stand protectively over Ray. Right after
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, Vasamal, you guys, like, you've had your ups and downs with him, but he is lawful neutral. He is like the shining example of lawful neutral. He is not a hero. He's not a good person. He's not fucking evil either. He just like has his own value system, and
I mean, when it comes to politicians, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
yeah, no, he's very much just lawful neutral. Yeah. All right. Well, BRB. So you guys can level up, and Mark and I can go get potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Potato.
I got
Ooh,
I got
potato.
seafood coming my way.
What? You guys are level 11 now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that Ray would like to contribute before the admirals meet with the House of Ancestors and start this process?
I think I kind of want Ray to suggest that if you've been an admiral, you shouldn't run for political office. But I think that's a little I don't know. I think that might be a little dangerous. So one thing she is going to say is that like she's gonna basically make it public, like in front of the admirals and everyone else, that basically any political backing, any political power that she may or may not have acquired, she's gonna put behind Zen, whether or not he wants it.
Zen groans loudly when you do this.
I'm aware, but we're in war times right now, and he's the only admiral that she actually trusts. So if one of them has to become president of Rannoch, then she would want it to be him.
Maybe mention the whole thing about possibly bringing back the Geth.
That is even more dangerous.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just putting it out there.
It's an option.
Actually, she'll do it the same way that Shepard does it during Tally's trial. She'll basically say, I believe that one of our major mistakes was our war with the Geth and how we treated them during the Sunset Wars. I think our people would be redeemed in bringing back the children that we killed.
A silence falls over the House of Ancestors. A few of the delegates begin to speak among themselves in hushed tones. Vasamal says, "It's a complicated issue.
Yes, but
We'll all keep it in mind."
We basically brought children into the world, and then when they didn't do what we wanted to, we decided the only means to fix it was to kill them.
That's one perspective, I suppose.
And it is the one I hold.
Noted. The mood around the House of Ancestors is actually mainly just one of discord, of disagreement. It doesn't seem as though it doesn't seem like the delegates are against Ray so much as they are divided on this topic. They're deeply divided. Many of them feel one way or the other, and have until now kept those views kind of to themselves, but now that it's been brought out in the open, it's revealed that it's actually much more divisive.
And then Ray will Kila Salai, and she will leave with Aryn as soon as they possibly can.
Didn't you also need to go through Vasamal for the name thing, right?
Oh God. Yeah.
Maybe we should have gone with that before the Geth. Oops.
Yeah, we'll say she starts with that, if that's okay.
No, it's not. We're gonna end with it.
Fuck. Okay.
So, Vasamal will basically walk away from the front of the House of Ancestors, like walking Ray and Aryn and company out, like accompanying you to the door, which gives you an opportunity to talk about something a bit like more private.
Ray will turn to him and stand and salute and say, as current and acting admiral of Rannoch, you are my captain, and I would like to request a transfer of station to the Saratoga.
Granted.
And Ray will nod to him and say, let it be known in the official records that my name has been changed.
Right away. Rela Salivas, Saratoga. And at Korozen, who is following a little bit behind, goes up to Ray and will take her hand in his and say, I didn't fully understand the situation. Just stay safe out there, please.
I will, and after I'm done, I would like to help with your guard.
That would be nice.
And Ray will hug him again.
He gives Rhea a big hug.
And she'll whisper, "You don't actually have to go to become the executive leader, but I just figured it might throw a bit of turmoil into Vasamal's plan."
And he'll kind of whisper back, I think you've thrown enough turmoil into our government as is. And then he straightens up and he stands next to Vasamal as you guys leave. You hear in the distance Vasamal, like, both of them are facing you guys as you were leaving, and without turning, Vasamal is just like a garden. And Corazon's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
So I get a sweet new outfit, and also I have access to a new power.
Oh
Congratulations,
yeah, we unlocked your alternate costume.
Hell yeah!
As you head out of the House of Ancestors, and you're like the guards escort you through the crowd. Ristern is waiting aboard the Saratoga and says, "This was the most fun I've had in ages. What's next? I can't wait to document your escapades."
Oh no.
If she's going home, that's what's next.
Unfortunately, Spectre Ops are highly classified. We can't exactly make a production out of it.
Oh, certainly not for right now, but someday the people want to know the truth.
We've had one officer on board already trying to document things, and they were... well, let's say they put themselves in an overly flattering light.
Ristern walks over and throws her arm around Aryn's shoulders, and with her other arm, like, reaches out, hand out. Picture it. Aryn Talia. The war is won, the galaxy is saved, but the people don't know the sacrifices you made. They might even see the choices that you made in a different light. They might even villainize you. Because they don't get it. They weren't there. But, and she like does a pirouette and puts her hands out. I can spin anything. Classified, of course, all under lock and key, but when the time is right, you might just need a little help with your PR, so to speak.
Captain, if I may speak,
Yes, Ray?
if we had someone who had recorded everything that Shepard did, then our predicament right now would be a lot easier.
He has a point.
That is true. Ristern, I cannot guarantee your safety on board the ship.
I hope not.
We have come into very perilous encounters.
If you guarantee my safety, I probably won't get any good footage.
Self-preservation on this one is not high.
Very well then. If you wish to join the crew and can swear yourself to secrecy and maintain confidentiality that is appropriate for Spectre Ops, then you're welcome to accompany us.
Excelsior! Yes, I'll move all my stuff in right away. And she'll go over to Arturo. You and I think we're starting to really form a rapport. Now we can keep that going, yes.
Now, Ristern, keep in mind though, if you are joining the crew, Arturo here outranks you.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course he does, yes.
And if he detects that you're breaking protocol, It's his call to put you off the ship.
Oh, what a terrible loss that would be.
Well, as long as we have an understanding. Welcome aboard.
Splendid. Wonderful, yes. I will, of course, need to schedule interviews with all of you on a regular basis. We got to get that one-on-one perspective on your adventures. Maybe a little bit of on-ship gossip, a little drama.
Aryn,
Hard
I'd
pass.
like to revoke my previous statement.
I think it's too late for that now.
This was your call, Ray. You did this.
You made
Hey,
too good of a point.
It's good for the soul to get things out, vent a little bit. Just tell the camera your woes.
Well, since our ship's counselor's been feeling under the weather, someplace to talk about anything freely would probably be a welcome addition to the crew.
Mass
Can't
Effect.
really
but
talk
in the
about it
office.
freely if it's on camera the whole time.
Quincy says over comms, "Hey, I got some words for your interview about my co-pilot."
Aryn just says to Ristern, "You can start with that one."
Wonderful.
As time
Ristern
permits.
makes- Of course, as time permits. I won't get in the way. You won't even know I was here. And her drones like circle around the party and take close-up snapshots of everybody.
I'm not gonna warn her about Banshee.
Or Primrose.
Oh, Primrose can avoid being seen if she wants to be.
Or, Adam.
Adam's
much
not even
everyone
on the
on the
ship
ship-
right now.
I think Ristern knows about Adam.
Pretty much everyone on the ship except for Ray's boyfriend is going to be like, I am not getting in front of a camera.
No, I'm good with the camera.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I can definitely see Adam getting in front of the camera and talking shit about all of us.
Decimius is going to be a star. He's going to be a
Oh, yeah.
celebrity.
Hello, lady.
If anyone needs Ristern off their back, just call Decimius. He will happily take the spotlight, I'm sure. But as we prepare for departure, let's gather in the conference room to discuss our next point of attack. Because we have several possible destinations.
All right, one moment. While you guys are in the conference room, little do you realize that Ristern has taken Aryn's quarters to interview Quincy on the couch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How are you just gonna take the Spectre's room, lady? Like, what the fuck?
She's
Richard's
bold.
probably
That's
still going to
the
try
It's
to.
got a couch. It's got a couch for the interviews.
It does have a couch. Yeah.
Richard's probably still going to be trying to push that narrative where everybody's shipping Shepard with the other two humans.
You know what, looking at it, all of the rooms except for Arturo's have a couch.
Yeah, but this one has a big couch.
Yeah, it does. It's got the three
With a
seater.
very nice wall behind it. Maybe some tasteful Asari artwork.
Meanwhile, Zelase is out on the railing talking to Primrose, and Zelase is like, "Primrose? What are you doing on the Saratoga?" Primrose is like, "We're gonna kill Dragon." And he's like, "Okay, is that what Aryn told you?" That doesn't surprise me. And they're just hanging out there. The two other Spectres. You have three Spectres on your ship right now.
Yep. If we find Snake,
Wait till
it
we
might
pick.
be
I'm about to say,
four.
just wait till we pick Snake up.
Well, that's if
Finally
Banshee
figure out
doesn't
where he's
kill
at.
him.
Four Spectres.
That is if Banshee doesn't kill
You
him.
have 4. Technically,
Banshee-
you currently have 4 Spectres because Caden was made a Spectre in
That's
Mass
true.
Effect 3.
Oh shit, you're right.
That is true.
Can I be
Yeah.
a
If
Spectre?
anybody's gonna know about
I wanna
Caden,
be a
it'll be me. He is a Spectre.
Whoa.
I'm a
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I was gonna say Shepard in our universe would have said, "No, Caden, don't be a Spectre. That's dumb." So, but I guess he's not from ours, so we're good.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 4 of them. All right. So now that is taken care of, the possibilities that I would lay on the table would be, one, we could head to Despoina to see if we can catch the Leviathans before they finish packing. And if they have already left, see what it is that see what they might have left behind that we might be able to utilize at least. Second possibility would be to go to Earth, see if we can figure out the true nature of the catalyst, and dig up Snake while we're there. That would get Adam back sooner. Third possibility would be to we need to pick up the Pilgrim before we go. So third possibility would be to deliver him to their new planet. That would get that resolved quickly, so we don't catch ourselves flying around with an active Geth platform for too long. And the other option is we figure out from Primrose a potential target of the Syndicate to hit, which would hinder Rabbit's forces. Possibly even see if we can strike at Rabbit's headquarters itself while she's out of the house, so that we could find the real Dr. Ulzik and rescue him. Those are the 4 ideas that I have. I'm open to suggestions for additional targets or votes for one of these.
I still think going to go see the Leviathan should be our next step.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
If not that, then find a way to fix the situation with the council.
Yeah, because if we head to Earth, I mean,
Oh, that was the other thing. Going to Syndicate space to find Rat and try to get some Reapertech from him to smooth things over with the council. That would be the other thing. That would be the thing to do before going to Earth.
yeah. So I can get behind what Arturo is saying. I say we can go check on the Leviathans now, but we definitely need to make Rat like a priority to smooth shit out with the council. I don't like having
Well,
a
One
council target on
or
our back.
both of those things should be the very next thing we do. Don't we have to go into terminus space for both of them anyway?
To make contact with Rat, yes. I don't know where he would be though.
Did he give us a way to make
Doug?
contact with him?
Actually, yes. Ray has his card. Ray has
Yeah,
contact
Ray does.
with Mr. Rat.
You have a card, but does that allow you contact with him?
It was
when
literally he gave it to Ray with the intention of her setting up a hit if she wanted to. So I imagine.
Okay.
When you pull out Rat's card, it is a sleek black card with gold lettering, and on the back side is a complex sequence that you would now realize with context is quantum communicator coordinates.
Excellent.
Do you remember when we were on the space station and you guys were trying to kill the really mean cyborg guy?
Yes, I remember that.
Good
Well,
man.
Mr. Rat gave me this, and now that I've seen more with quantum communication, I think that's what this is. And Ray will hand over the card to Aryn.
Well, that's very convenient. That will add another contact to our channels. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, maybe we could reach out to him and have him meet us somewhere where we could get 2 things done at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere, hopefully, that Rabbit won't be able to follow any of us. I also don't want him exactly parking over to Spoina.
Maybe he can...
We can arrange a neutral territory. Maybe even at Mouse's relay. That seems like it would be a secure enough location.
All right, Mouse.
And I also would like to help Decimius as soon as we can. He has been on the ship for pretty much longer than anyone else, and he's been really cool about it, but...
Yes, unfortunately, I've been getting a tone of impatience from Primrose. She brought Yuji in, and we almost immediately got him killed. She brought him in because she wanted the mission to be sped up a little bit.
Well, going to go see Rat might give us a little bit more information on how we can handle that.
Rat might have found some info on the rest of the Syndicate's weak points, too. I doubt he's been idle this whole time.
So dealing with Rat, getting that Reaper technology, and possibly finding more information about Dragon, and it'll help us get Adam back eventually. So these all sound like a good plan.
All right, I'll reach out to Rat. We'll arrange a rendezvous. We'll hit up Despoina before we get there, or after, and then we'll head to Earth. We'll be operating under. Does anybody have any objections to that plan?
No, Captain.
All right.
Not a one.
Then, in that case, we'll continue operating under stealth while we are in Council space until we can get things smoothed over with the Council. I doubt they're going to appreciate an approach on Earth if we're not ready to turn over Reapertech. But we should be able to give that to them, and then, or actually, better yet, we should probably give it to Zelase. Yes, I think if we give it to Zelase, he can smooth things over with the Council, since that was his mission. And then that'll give us the opportunity to go down to the planet, see if we can find anything in the wreckage of the old Citadel. See if we can find anybody that was more knowledgeable about those happenings. See if we can get the catalyst and find Snake, because he might have even more info about Syndicate's weak spots. All right then. David, can you give us a course to go pick up the Pilgrim from the canyons in the south?
Yeah, I can do that since I'm sure Quincy's busy. So.
All right, and then we'll head to. Well, I'll make contact with Rat once we've departed.
All right, and this is where I need to sign off, and I will hop back in as soon as I get back to work.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Ray is gonna walk out, and then she's gonna go talk to the I can't remember his name, the male presenting Asari.
Zelase.
Zelase. Yep.
Zelase. Hello, Mr. Zelase.
You'll find him out on the balcony overlooking the engine bay with Primrose, and
Yeah,
he'll look
This is where
over
the
at Ray.
detectors hang out.
Yeah. Rela, right?
Yes. I just have a quick question. Did you say Selic earlier?
Yes. Why?
Is he a Quarian by any chance?
He is.
Okay. I don't know how much you know about him, but you know he got kicked out of the fleet for medical malpractice, right?
He has a checkered past, but he's been flying with me for a while.
Okay, well, I just know, like, there's a whole class about what not to do, and he comes up like 8 times.
I understand.
Alright, well, if you need a doctor to actually look after you, just come and find me.
It's fine. He's not my only ship doctor.
Oh, okay. Because, well, anyway, you have a good day, sir.
Most Spectres don't fly around on the space equivalent of a big rig with a crew of like 12 people. For what it's worth.
Ray's gonna glare at him for a second and, like, want to argue that the Saratoga isn't just a big rig. But then she's gonna think better of it and just be like, okay. And then head back down to engineering.
XO, make sure to signal Zelase's ship to follow us.
Will do, Captain. And she'll send comm over.
Alright, I'm going to be in the conference room putting in Rat's quantum contact info and seeing if I can open a channel to him.
Alrighty. One moment.
Hey, Lucille.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take for Arturo or his new girlfriend to ask each other what's their favorite planet?
You know, it's a really good question. But I don't think his girlfriend knows that question. And I'm... Ah, Christ. You people.
You people.
Yeah, you people. I thought it was just a good conversation starter.
Yeah, well, certainly worked for old Quincy and hit her new fling.
Ugh. Now you just make me think about the shipping from the TV show.
Please.
I always thought it was interesting when I was watching it, you know, to think who had relationships, if there was anything back there. Now that it's me, it's kind of disturbing and upsetting.
Welcome to the high life. Celebrity gossip.
I could have lived without that. Like, I think I'd have been fine.
Nah.
As you guys pull away,
Ooh.
this is the ship that follows you.
Damn, man, our fucking...
Zalase's ship is about 4 times the size of the Saratoga, with cutting-edge shields and weapons and engines.
Yeah, my syndicate girl gets all the cool places to live. Some both.
We haven't even seen Aryn's ship that she normally flies in. She'll be getting that back at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
Man.
And to be clear, the Saratoga is not a freighter. It is still a frigate. It is still a warship. Just a little out of date.
That's true.
Okay.
It's less the equivalent of a big rig and more the equivalent of like a World War I era ship.
That's the console. It's okay, Sarah. They're not talking that mean about you. It's alright.
Do you seriously call the ship Sarah in your free time when no one's listening?
Saratoga. Yeah, that's
okay, maybe a World War II ship. Saratoga was a ship in World War II.
Yeah.
I'm making a folder for the ships because I think it's cool to have them. The other big one is Rat's ship, the Impending Doom.
And Tally's Huntress.
You know, Lucille, I don't want to hear you questioning me about naming the ship Sarah. How many of your guns have you named?
That is none of your business, an incredibly private question to ask.
There we go. We got the Impending Doom, the Quicksilver, and the Huntress. There. But yeah, so I'm just gonna move Arturo. There we go. You're gonna talk to Rat, right?
Yes. Opening a channel to Rat while we get the ship started up and moved out.
Absolutely. All right. Mouse answers. Spectre Aryn Talia. Sorry for the delay. I was verifying the origin of your communique. What do you need?
No worries, Mouse. Good to talk with you again. I am in need of some Reapertech. I need to get out of hot water with the Council, because they caught wind that I was utilizing some on board, and are insisting that it be turned over. I need something that can be passable as important enough to be mission critical, but not something we're actually actively using.
Oh, that's interesting. That wouldn't happen to have something to do with that AI on your ship, would it?
Yes, it would, actually. He was merged with a more modern approach to the problem. And the merged product is stable, but not able to unleash its full potential until it's stabilized, because it is using Reaper code.
Interesting.
The Council does not know the details, though. And I was wondering if your little genius brain could whip up something that would appease them.
Yes, easily, but in exchange, I want to know everything about this little project of yours.
I understand you were one of the original brains behind the project.
I mean, your project. You said he was merged with some other AI?
Yes. Some other co-workers of yours continued the work and made something completely independent. And then we merged it with the old, and I think overall it's a superior AI now. It just has a little bit of a stability problem, but we're working on that from another angle.
I see. Your goal with all this, the end goal. I'm guessing you want something to use against Rabbit.
Yes. Rabbit's very vulnerable to technology as we understand it.
I can help with your council problem. And I can help you with... Which one do you have? I'm guessing it's one of Akazawa's children, per se.
Yes.
Do you have Adam or Eve?
Oh, you've met him. It's Adam.
Hmm.
You had such easy control over him.
I didn't know if he was operating under an alias. At the time, he was still shackled and pretending to be a VI.
Yes, he was flying under the radar for his own safety.
Hmm.
We're still keeping it relatively under wraps. The Council doesn't know he's an AI.
Well, I might be able to help finish this little project of yours myself.
Alright, there is still one item of stability that we're looking for that is very particular, that will help stabilize the Reaper code. What do you think you can do to improve him?
Stabilize the Reaper code or quell it? Stifle it?
Appease it, I think, is probably the better word.
I've been getting very close to something over here. You've been to my station before. You used its relay. The new Cerberus station.
Yes.
I'm close to a breakthrough. Adam, or whatever he's become now, could be the key.
Alright. I can tell you
A dream finally realized.
I can tell you everything I know about him and give you all information that we have.
No, I need access to him.
Well, he's now a free-thinking individual, so that would have to be his choice.
Then go talk to him.
I can't do that until we have the catalyst. In order to get the catalyst, I need to appease the Council. In order to appease the Council, I need a Reapertech to give them. So it would have to be one thing at a time.
Aryn, I am very close to a breakthrough that could turn this whole war on its head. If you give me direct access to Adam, you might have living Reapers under your command. I'm nearly there. I'm just missing something.
What is it you're missing? It might be the same thing we're looking after.
I don't know yet. That's the nature of the problem. But what Adam's become might be it. I can solve your council problem for you, but only with a guarantee that you'll give me direct access to Adam.
Adam has at this point saved my life. And in my mind, he is a free-thinking individual. He's not a slave. He's not someone I can speak for. In the end, I would ask that his individuality and free will still be respected. I can give you access to him, but not control over him, unless that is what he agrees to.
You're making this difficult. We're all doing great things here. Great, important things. Don't get sentimental on me.
Can you guarantee that Adam will still be himself when it's all over? Or do you plan to continue using him after you have access?
That was 2 questions. To the first one, no. To the second one, I don't yet know the nature of the problem.
Alright. If you get me something to appease the council, then once we have Adam back, we will work with you to figure out this problem together. You, me, and Adam. Because I am interested in saving the galaxy, but not at the cost of individual freedom.
You're talking your way around me. Creating contingencies for yourself. Weaseling around it.
I'm happy to meet you in the middle. I do want to help you. But Adam's a member of my crew. I have to look after him as well.
That's disappointing. I was hoping that you'd be more of a visionary, not so constrained by sentimentality. But then I guess the times don't really change. Oh well. I'll take what I can get, I guess.
I appreciate that.
Maybe once things get truly dire, you'll realize that the ends justify the means.
I'm beginning to understand that the means are important. More important than I've realized.
We'll see how much they matter when Rabbit controls the whole galaxy, and anyone who opposes her has their brain melted into goo on the floor. Where do you want this Reapertech, huh?
We can come meet you at New Cerberus station. That seems like it would be the most secure place.
A
Unless you have a
tempting
better idea.
offer, but unfortunately, right now, we're on lockdown. Can't have anyone coming to or from that might notify Rabbit of our presence here.
Very well. Is everything alright over there? Any new developments I should be aware of?
Oh, plenty.
Has Rabbit been up to things? Can't imagine she's been sitting idle.
She's consolidated her power in Terminus space completely. The Syndicate is hers. All the Syndicate bosses are operating like puppets on strings at this point, save two. Snake disappeared, and our mutual friend Rat is no more.
What happened?
He made an attempt on Rabbit's life.
I could have told him that was foolish.
It's what he's good at. It's what he does. It's how he solves his problems. I didn't try too hard to talk him out of it.
I suppose he left all of his belongings to you then.
Indeed, he did. So it all worked out in the end, I guess.
Well,
Don't tell me you're about to mourn the death of a cold-hearted killer. Rat's a professional assassin. He's killed a lot of innocent people, you know?
mourn is a strong word for what I'll do.
So Mouse says, yes, so the impending doom is currently half disassembled in the bay of my new Cerberus station, and I'm working diligently to get it to wake up.
I see. And it seems like the catalyst that we're looking for on Earth might be exactly what you're looking for.
The catalyst. Hold on, what? She like looks to the side a little bit.
Where is?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Forgive me, Spectre. I had someone talking in my ear. That could be helpful, yes.
When you're working with Reapertech, as I understand it, that is going to be the most valuable asset. It is what the Reaper code in Adam has requested.
There could be some use to it. Certainly.
I think it would be more useful to you, to your work than Adam would be.
That's entirely possible. Are you going to provide it to me?
If I can find it, once I've used it to see what use it is to Adam, then I will have no further use for it, and you're going to be more than welcome to it.
That suits us. I mean, me. Alright then. We have a deal.
Excellent. Just name a place, and I can come by to pick it up. Whatever it is you've prepared for me. As long as you can guarantee it won't be a danger to my ship between here and there.
No, certainly not.
Good.
I'll relay it into council space somewhere on the periphery. Some system with no one living in it. You'll find it orbiting one of the inner planets. Let's see. Perhaps this one. And she sends you coordinates.
Alright. We'll head there and pick it up. Thank you very much, Max.
Perfect.
We'll be in touch.
Word of warning. If you are heading down Earthside to rummage around in the old Citadel, it's not unguarded.
I see.
Syndicate activity is very high on Earth, particularly in the multicultural city founded by the survivors of the Reaper War. Despite that, we have never been able to salvage or penetrate the old citadel lying in ruins. There's sort of a pervasive kind of ghost story around it. Some, if you would believe it, an individual who is guarding the fallen citadel from anyone who might try to gain something from it, and has single-handedly kept any syndicate forces or other ne'er-do-wells away from it.
Well, fortunately,
fact,
I consider myself in neither of those categories.
They've fired on council space people too.
Well, that's a category I do fall under.
Anyway, you might want to tread carefully, because whoever it is, they aren't really in a talkative mood. It seems to be their prerogative that no one enter or take anything from the old citadel under any circumstances.
Your caution is appreciated and well received. We'll take it to heart.
Alright, just don't get your heads blown off from 1,000 yards. You probably won't find any more information than what I've told you, but if you want to scour the extranet, people call them the Archangel.
Shit.
Like, indiscriminately shooting anybody who comes near it.
Oh, hey, look at that, Sean. You were right on the money.
Don't make me have to fight both my favorite characters from Mass Effect. Come on, man.
Try to keep your head, Aryn.
I'll do that. Thank you very much, Mouse. We'll be in touch.
Good. Looking forward to it.
And unless anybody wants to do anything else, I would like to make a quick call to Primarch Victus just to let him know we got the Quarians on board.
Certainly.
We do still have to stop and get Pioneer, don't forget.
Yep, we're on our way to do that. Kind of making these calls as we get the ship started up and in transit.
So, what did I miss?
Rat's dead. Mouse is going to be easily able to furnish us some Reapertech to...
What do you need, Spectre?
Just wanted to give you the good news that the Quarians have pledged their full support to the Galactic Readiness Task Force.
Ah, excellent. Very good.
I'm still in a bit of hot water with the Council, but we have a plan for clearing that up.
Yes, I know all about it. For what it's worth, I couldn't give two shits about their crusade.
Well, I appreciate
It-
that.
It's overly pedantic. It's not like I'm any fan of Reapers or AI. They scoured my home world and killed many Turians, but that was 20 years ago. We have to use what we have.
Well, next on our docket is going to be to try to fully optimize the resources that we've gotten from the Solarian force, and we'll keep you posted after that as to where we're going next.
Understood. How's Decimius been? Useful?
Pain in the ass as always,
I would bet.
but the good kind.
Alright then. Good to know.
We've uncovered
Anything else to report?
Well, we have uncovered new information about the threat itself. Its nature is not at all what we thought. The giant Reaper-like object in the sky is not the main threat. It's his little Asari. The Syndicate leader, Rabbit, apparently created it.
Interesting.
And that's the source of all of the danger. We thought it was almost controlling her, but it's the other way around. So the force that we face is an extreme biotic threat from a single source.
I see. Have you tried just putting a bullet in her forehead?
We have.
Couldn't we just organize a hit?
We have tried that. We did encounter her ourselves one time, and we were severely outmatched. Barely put a dent in her barriers. And, one of our Syndicate assets, probably the greatest assassin in the galaxy, died attempting to take her out. So, a simple hit is not going to cut it. I think we do still have to proceed with the plan of gathering forces, because even if the fleet is not attacking the main threat, it can still distract her and draw her, force her to spread her power thin. But I do want to try to go at this as efficiently as possible. I don't want to lose an entire fleet of ships when they would not have been useful in the first place. So we're leveraging as much tech as we can, because that's something that she's going to be very weak to and will not put lives at risk. So that's our main focus.
Understood. In that case, I'll continue as I was before, then. Doesn't sound like there's much change in our strategy.
Alright then.
Let me know if there's any developments. Anything you want us to do differently.
Will do. We'll be in touch, Primarch. Tilly out.
Good.
Alright, that's all the phone calls I have to make.
Now, where's the Saratoga flying to, exactly? Are you actually going to fly over to the secret Geth place? Probably not, right?
I'm doing what my Spectre told me to do.
Which is what?
We're probably going to
Well,
fly
I
to
don't get-
the same place that we dropped off before.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's either that or we fly over it and do a slow fall down to it. Either way, we need to get the Pilgrim back up, so...
Yep.
Yeah, we'll probably set the Saratoga where we departed from before. We're not as worried about Tally hunting us this time.
Yeah, and now you've been given something that will quell the local wildlife so it won't attack you.
Yeah. got the bear bangers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you touch down, and you begin to make your way across Rannoch. Once again.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll be doing our best to recognize the terrain and get back the way that we remember last time. Just keeping an eye out for the wildlife.
All right.
Looking to be
As
off.
you travel, the local wildlife does indeed spot you, but you're well equipped for this.
Looking to be dusted off and off-world by sunset. So let's move.
Arturo will also once again have sea invisibility on, just in case.
All right. After traveling for about for several hours, and having to use the noisemakers to quell the local wildlife, scare them away. Eventually, you find yourself back in the valley where they discovered you before.
Back in the valley of the shadow.
Might want to mute, Joseph.
I didn't know you could hear me.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, Siffy Wayfor is there. We saw you coming! Welcome back, everybody. She says, like, sitting on a rock.
Thank you. Our business is mostly concluded here. We've got the Quarians moving in a direction of unity, and it seems like there is some, at least some disagreement about what to do about the Geth. So it's not unanimous against them, which is a note in our favor, I think.
Well, that's positive, I guess.
But all the same,
But-
we're ready to take the Pilgrim off-world and get it settled as a
Perfect.
backup plan.
Sounds good.
Assuming
Got him right
you're
here.
still on board with that idea, Ray.
Yeah, I think that'll do. Did you see the broadcast?
Yeah, we did. It was nice. Thank you.
No worries.
We already knew that there were plenty of Quarians that didn't feel the same way about us, but it was nice to hear it for once.
Well, is there anything else that you need from us before we depart?
No, that'll about do it. Can't think of anything. Appreciate you doing all this.
Of course.
And Siffy will slide off the rock and come over and put a hand out, like to shake.
Aryn will reach up and shake her hand.
By the way, how I don't get the chance often to ask outsiders, but how's my posture, speech? Does it seem pretty natural to you? Put you at ease?
I'd say so.
I hadn't noticed anything out of the ordinary. When I first met you, I thought you were a Quarian. I would not have
Perfect.
known otherwise.
Good. Because, yeah, when the time comes, this model will probably be the one making our case to your people,
Mm-hmm.
she says to Ray.
I don't know how comfortable they would be with that, but
Well, it would be a
You know
familiar
better.
face to them.
yeah, but if they think we're gonna, what's that movie, David? Body snatch them?
Ah, yes, Invaders of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Just don't point at people and make a really long monotone scream, and you
Well,
should be fine.
That doesn't make sense, Sify Wayforth says to Ray. Logically, we concluded this should be the perfect form to put Quarians at ease. Like mathematically perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It is like if they don't know you're a Geth, but if they find out you're a Geth pretending to be one of us, then they're gonna get afraid that their friends and family are gonna get replaced by Geth.
Exactly. A lot of them might start to wonder how many people amongst them might also be Geth and hiding.
Fear that they won't be able to tell you apart.
Shoot. Well, okay.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there is a movie basis on Earth called Terminator, and that's literally how the robots hurt the humans. They literally make robots that look identical to them, and no one knows who to trust. So definitely don't do that.
So if Earth conspirators are anything to go by, some Quarians probably already believe that. They'll just think they're conspiracy nuts.
I guess I'll take it back to the drawing board, but okay. That criticism noted.
I will say, if you're trying to fly under the radar, your form is very good for that. But as far as introducing yourself to the Quarian people, looking identical to them might actually put them a little off kilter.
Huh. Well, noted. We'll think about that. It's just a surprise to hear. This was supposed to be the correct form for this. We deliberated for a long time about it.
Mm-hmm. And it might still work for a first introduction, but they won't want you to maintain that form as you reintegrate. Most likely.
Okay. Well, noted. In any case, here's Pilgrim. And Sify will slap Pilgrim on the shoulder, and Pilgrim will just say in a complete monotone, I am ready. He's ready, says Sify. Aren't you, buddy? I am ready. Yep. Awesome.
Alright then. Well, good luck, Sify Wayforth.
Good luck to you too, and take care of this old guy.
We will.
Ray will walk up and hug Sify. And she'll whisper, is there any chance you have any video or audio files of my mom?
As a matter of fact, I do. And Sify will hug Ray back. Don't worry, sis, I got you.
Thank you.
And she'll transfer all of the video and audio she have of Ray's mom to Ray's Omni tool. There you go.
Ray will smile. Thank you very much.
Well,
Keela Soleil.
Gila Soleil. And then Pilgrim goes, I am ready. Sify's like, yeah, I bet you are.
You sure are, big guy.
It doesn't have a lot of computing power.
Alright, well, we'll be on our way.
Take care of him.
We will.
As you guys start to make your way back, Pilgrim is just walking mechanically beside all of you, looking kind of vacant, carrying big CPUs and stuff on his back. And then Pilgrim will slowly turn and look at Lucille and just stare at Lucille while you're all walking back.
Does that creep anybody else out?
No, I think it's awesome.
It doesn't have any weapon capabilities, right? What? She stops dead in her tracks.
Pauses.
Did it say Shepard?
Yeah.
I am ready.
Ronnie, you
for
ready?
what?
Pilgrim just keeps walking.
Keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Watches as he walks past her.
Ray actually probably didn't hear that because she actually on her Omni tool has a pop-up of Pilgrim and she's typing things. And she's like, all right, let's see if we can activate this Reaper code in him. Because I am going to attempt to give him sentience.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
All right.
Ascend
This ought to be
programming.
fun.
It's a 10-minute thing, so we're going to have to wait till we get back on the ship. But that is Ray's intention.
Casting time is 8 hours.
Or, okay, 8-hour thing.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
That is Ray's intention, is to try to give Legion his sentience back. Of course, she doesn't know that.
All
When
right.
we're all organic batteries, guess who they'll blame?
Good job, Ray.
It's all Ray's fault. What a tool she was.
United the
have to calculate
Quarians
pi.
to create a new government and turn them all into batteries. Well done. Well done.
You know, it's likely alluded to in the actual canon that Legion was the first ever Geth to fire upon Quarians. So the fact that he's going to be responsible for the death of pretty much the death of the Quarians, pretty much the death of the Geth, and then the revitalization of both species is pretty funny.
God damn it, man.
All right. You reach the Saratoga. There's still many hours left on your Ascend programming, so you'll just have to wait till next week to find out what happens there.